Do you know Trey the Explainer? I saw that photo from the party today and almost had a stroke. Well, the party was 2 days ago, and of course I know Trey the Explainer. I met them. What do you mean? Do you know what you saw a photo of me with someone? What do you mean? Do I know them? How does that work? Think I was taking random photos? People lost their shit out of that tweet. Yeah, I went to a rave on New Year's Eve. I got there at I was like there midnight to 2 or so. Very, very fun. I did some dancing, got made fun of by my beautiful partner for dancing poorly. You know, it hurt, but you got to move forward. You got to move forward. It was good. The Impact one? Yeah, the furry one. It was a good time. What were the ears? Dog ears. You got to dance poorly to dance better. Can I get real with you? I really think the calisthenics helped a little bit there, okay? I was in the horse stance. It is Year of the Horse, so obviously we all need to get our horse stance on, okay? Your hip abduction muscles are probably atrophied with how much time you spend at the computer, you know? You got to get that stretch on. God willing, I'm gonna learn how to do a front split, okay? This year, we're doing a front split. You said calisthenics? Yeah, we're working on it. Get insurance before you try that. How goes the pull-up? Listen, okay? My record for hanging from the bar is 35 seconds. We're a little while away from a pull-up. We're a little while away. Just a little. 35 seconds actually isn't terrible for a dead thing. It's not terrible, no. I feel like the big limiting factor is just my hands feeling comfortable. Like, it's not the grip strength thing. You know? I just have to get used to getting, like, some calluses on my fingers. I'm a waiter. This pull-up bar is uncomfortable. It's a real problem, you know? What's your workout routine? Don't worry about it. If I ever do anything impressive, I promise you guys you'll hear about it, okay? I'm shameless and reasonably confident. I don't experience imposter syndrome, and I already make a fool out of myself publicly for a living. You know, if I learn how to do an L-sit, I'm going to try doing it on stream, you know? I'm going to be like, guys, check it out. And I'm going to sit over here and like wobble my way up into an L. So you're not going to miss out on anything important. I promise you. Do a hollow hold, streamer man. Well, everyone can do a hollow hold. I've done that for 30 seconds, like a proper one with your arms up and extended. Wait, do you need to have, when you're doing a hollow body hold, do you need to only be touching the ground with your butt, or can you touch the ground with your upper back too? You don't need to literally just be hinged so that your butt is on the ground. Like, you can have your back on the ground too, right? You just need to have your shoulders up and your legs. Bend the knees. No, that makes it easier. Okay, no one's helping me. No one's helping me out. Remember that time he did a full squat with his feet planted? That was so impressive. That was so impressive. Maybe the most impressive thing anyone's ever done on stream. Physically speaking, I mean. I've never seen a speed stream. Can you do it again? Fuck yeah, I can. Check this out. Check this out. Watch this shit. Okay? Watch this. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect contact. Look, I'm arching my back. It's like I'm a drawing of a person taking a shit. Look, the form. I could be here all day. Bet you Speed's never done that. Now do it with the feet next to each other. I don't know if I can. Where was I standing? Right here. Okay. Feet together. Like this close? Yeah, I got this shit. I got this shit nasty style. Ooh. Oh, your poor scrotum. You're supposed to let the scrot like on top of the legs. You don't have to crush them. His knees won't like that. I am glad I have the mic audio dampening on enough that you couldn't hear the sickening cracks that... Hey, at what point of like your calisthenics journey do your legs stop cracking when you like bend down and stuff? Does that ever stop? Is that just like part of life now? I'm just gonna tell him. Ah, fuck. Ah, well. Hollow body hold, you should have your back up off the ground. Okay, well, I don't know if I could do that right now. I don't know if I can do that. Seeing that he's built like me makes me feel better about my physique, my awkward middle ground between chubby and fit guy rep. What the fuck? You can't say... See, looking at Vaush's body makes me feel better about mine. What's wrong with you? They're trying to kill me out here. They're lobbing... What the hell? The most backhanded compliment of all time. Vaush being the perfect blend of obese and retarded really does make me feel better about my... Hey, me too, buddy. Every day I look in the mirror. Every day. Every day I wake up. Punch his wall. If it makes you feel any better, seeing your mental health makes me feel worse about mine. All right, I do have that on lock. I go online, or fuck, even just meeting people in real life, and sometimes I really do think, like, am I 99th percentile in physical fitness? Fuck no. But I wonder about, like, mental health-wise. And that's not, like, me self-aggrandizing. A lot of people are just, you know, going through it. Oh, looks like Vaush been on Twitter the past 2 days. Yeah, a little bit. I went to the rave. The Impact rave over at Westlake in Seattle on New Year's Eve, and I had a great time. And I met some other Twitter hybees, you know. Everyone there was trans. It was crazy. That was like the most... I swear to God, there were like 4 cis guys there, and I'm only assuming, right? Like it's Seattle, you know. I don't know. Maybe they're women are non-binary. I'm just pitching a guess here. It was not a large number of people. I would not have gone there if I wasn't with my partner, because otherwise I would have felt like a fucking chaser. I'm glad I had someone I was with. That was crazy. It was good vibes though. Drink was good. Homer in the lesbian bar? Yeah, oh yeah. For sure. What's her problem? That's a good bit. New year, new me. I'm committed to actually doing my fucking job. Isn't that a novelty? I'll believe it when I see it. Look, 99% of the time, if I'm not streaming, it's because of a cough or a headache. And I'm trying to... Guys, you know what I eat now? My diet is like protein bars and yogurt. I exercise and stretch every morning. I'm trying to not get headaches and to take care of my GERD so my cough doesn't rear up. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. Anyway, I went to the rave and some people got mad that I was there, but you can't be too mad about that, you know? You have to live your life. Where's the fiber at, though? I eat a lot of brown rice. Who was mad? Twitter. Vegetables, indeed. I got a juicer recently. Like, I saw it on YouTube Shorts, and I bought it same day off Amazon. The Kutunk. Yeah, Bearbell is my favorite, too. The peanut butter one, or peanut one. The Kutunk. That takes the fiber out. Yeah, but I get my fiber from the brown rice, okay? I'm getting other shit from the orange juice. Is brown rice actually better for you? It just has the fiber. The shell... Brown rice is the same as white rice. It's just, it has the shells. It hasn't been, like, shaken to remove the shells. So the shells have the fiber. And fiber is good for you because I think the fiber prevents your body from rapidly integrating the carbohydrates in the the rice itself and integrating it and processing it into sugar. You know, so rather, because like ancient man, you know, when we were hunter-gatherers, we couldn't just like ingest a fuck ton of carbs immediately, right? Like that wasn't even, nowhere on earth could you go like, I'm going to have a big handful of carbs. And like, that's just it. Nowadays, with all of the bread and the rice or whatever, we can eat a fuckload of carbs in like a second, you know? So the fiber slows it down and prevents you from getting those like, sugar spikes. There's a lot. That's what I've read. I'm 31. I'm 31. I'm going to be 32 soon, okay? I'm just trying to live. The bread back there was made of a coarser flour too. That's true. We're getting purer and purer carbs, you know? If you gave a modern slice of Wonder Bread to a peasant, they would have like a seizure, you know? It'd be like giving 2026 weed to a guy who's smoking a dud joint in 1982, right? You've got like a stoner hippie guy back then with a joint and it's like 90% stem and you're like, here you go, buddy, check out what we've got. and he has essentially a psychedelic experience off of 2 puffs. Yeah, kills him instantly. We just got the purer cut now. Bro would think his shit is laced. Unironically, yeah. They would take one deep hit and instantly they'd be like, fuck. And that would just be the end of their day. Sometimes you just have to go to sleep. You're unk now? That's true. However, I will say I'm feeling much better now after like 3 weeks of doing the stretches or whatever than I was for all of last year. You know what? One stretch that's fucking killer, by the way, really been feeling it. It's the simplest thing in the world. I think it fixes gamer neck. You know, I've got gamer neck. You've all got gamer neck. You get the phone neck. You look down like this is what you're doing 90% of the day. You know, it's the big one. It's the big stretch. It really helps. Teach me. I don't have a wall I can show you. Here, can we pretend I'm up against a wall back here? This is real advice. I'm really trying to help you, by the way. Okay, I'm like this. It takes like 30 seconds to do this in the morning. Okay, this helped me a lot. All right. Can you even see my head if I'm back here? Can you? Yeah, you can see my head just fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. You put yourself up against the wall. You're doing the cinema. You're doing the cinema pose. Okay. You're up against the wall. You're experiencing cinema right here, like so. Right. Okay? And then you want to make sure, and this is important, you want to make sure that your butt and your upper back and your head and your neck are all pressed up against the wall as much as you can. You know? Like you want to flatten your whole, like your heels and the back of your knees and your everything. You're flat up against the wall. And then you just do this up and down a little bit. I tell you, you do that 10 times. I bet you if you got up and did that right now, and you did it with good form, you got your heels, your butt, your lower back, your upper back, your neck, and your head, like as much against the wall as you can, and you do that once, you know? Yeah, pretend a train is going by right in front of you. You do that once, you're going to feel a crack in your neck. I'm telling you, but you have to do it with the proper form. You can't just, like put your hand up or whatever, okay? Arms all the way up. Just get a good like range of good range of motion, okay? You'll feel it. And if I don't feel the crack, you should feel a pressure. Is the wall behind or in front of you? But behind you. The wall's behind you. You're putting your butt and your so on up against the wall. You should feel a pressure to like correct your gamer neck. You know what I mean? Just did it. Did you feel a pressure to correct your gamer neck? No? All right, fuck it. I'll have to do a video. I'll get you guys healthy, okay? I care about your longevity. I just did it and I did feel it. Nice. We have some believers in chat. We have some people in chat who have experienced it. Did you get this advice from someone? Maybe you can link an original vid. I could probably find it. Yeah, I could probably find it. No, I'm telling you, it makes you do that 10 solid reps, and then afterwards you're standing up straighter. It fixes your posture. Brown rice isn't worth the squeeze. Sorry, you lost me. I fucking love brown rice. I love the texture of brown rice. I love that it has kind of that quinoa shell a little bit, you know? I don't like it for everything. I wouldn't get sushi with brown rice, obviously, but if I'm just having like a big bowl of you know, protein and brown rice or whatever. Your take on lentils? Lentils are good. Lentils are good. Grains are good. It's good. It's good for you. It's good. Helps. Lentils are grains. Are they? Are they not? Whatever. Legumes. I don't know. What, you know, they're beans. Okay, legumes. Yeah, whatever. It's all good. In the hood. Vaush also hates pizza. Remember to never trust a food base. I have never said I hate pizza. You are flanderizing me. You are constructing a straw man to better support your argument, and your argument is dehumanizing. I have never said I hate pizza. I'm just not a pizza guy, okay? And I'm lactose intolerant. Frankly, I think I have a pretty good excuse. Now, if the pizza place has barbecue chicken pizza, you know, now I'm in, because now we've got like a solid brick of calories here that isn't, you know, highly lactose based. But I've had cheese pizzas, you know, with the pepperoni and the sausage, or even more fancy stuff. Like there's a pizza place I've been to that has like goat cheese and like pesto, like a pesto base. That's really good. Baked potato pizza. Take a lactate coward. You people say you want me to stream more often. And I say, the reason I haven't been streaming is because of a persistent cough. And now you're like, just dip the Diet Coke and Mentos into your stomach. Just pour, the thing that causes the cough is around the holidays is because I'm eating holiday food. So it's now my tummy's mad at me and it makes my throat hurt. And that's why I cough. It puts a pressure on it. And you guys are like, just toss fucking battery acid in there, man. Just eat a car battery. Jesus Christ. You know how fucking ascetic my diet is? I literally eat tuna and rice as a main. I'm trying to not have a cough, okay? I had a cough that lasted so long, I got costochondritis from it. I'm just trying to hold myself out, get my protein. How's barbecue chicken pizza less lactose than regular? Because barbecue chicken pizza often has no or very little cheese. Also, I'm not a big marinara guy. Go see a doctor or not? At these prices? Sure, I'll go see a doctor. Donate. Got a fucking white name. Any takes on pineapple pizza? I don't really like pineapple. So kind of not really a novel take on my part. Somehow manages to have a take that upsets everyone. Well, I like pineapple juice. I just don't really eat fruit slices. I'm trying to work on that though. I would really love to smugly eat an apple. It's like a big writing trope, you know? Like I get one up on someone and then I go, I would love that. That would make me feel really cool if I could do that. I mean, I could. It's nothing preventing me from eating an apple. I guess I'm just not really interested. But I want to learn how to be interested. Wait, you don't eat fruit? Not really, no. I mean, not like the food. Walk in, do 20 push-ups, then pull an apple out of your pocket, leave without saying anything. I could probably get to 20 push-ups pretty soon. Ever since I cured my costochondritis by throwing a weight around, you know? Right now, I could not do 20 push-ups. With strict form, I would be lucky to hit 10. But I could probably get to 20 before midway through the year, you know? A lot of it is just my fucking chest is atrophied because I spent 2.5 years trying not to use it. Crazy how you did that just by popping something in your chest. Yeah, just a fucking dumbbell pullover, you know? What kind of apples do you have access to that makes you not want to munch on them? It's not an accessibility thing, okay? And this is, I'm pulling out the card, by the way. If you have a problem with this, you're ableist, all right? It's just the tism. It's just you bite into an apple or a tomato or whatever, and they just feel kind of weird inside, you know? It's an exposure thing. You get used to eating them, you're fine. There are plenty of things with weirder textures that I'm used to eating. It's just a matter of what you get used to. I just have to force myself to smugly consume apples. And eventually I'll build up a tolerance. All right, let's move it along. Try Honeycrisp apples. I have had Honeycrisp apples. To quote you, you need the tism sandblasted off of you. No, 100%, yeah. Have you tried those push-up handle things? Yes, they're actually in frame right now. Oh wait, no they're not. They're right down there. They're good. I'm audio only, sorry lol. I don't forgive you. What do the push-up handles help you with? My wrists, mostly. I drunk kissed my coworker who I share an office with, and she confessed she's into me, and I have no clue what's going to happen when I go back to work. Ooh, drama. Well, that's a recipe for disaster. Potentially. It could also be fucking great, you know? I could never be one of those hardline, don't date people you work with people, because for a lot of people, the only time you're ever outside talking to other people is when you're at work. So, like, I don't know. Potential for drama? Sure, but also potential for love. Just got to be smart with it. Not dating coworkers has always sounded the same to me. It's one of the main places you can meet people. It really depends on what your work is, you know? If you're in the arts, you have to fuck your coworkers, I think. Yeah, probably. We know what they're up to. Theater kids, you know? Oy, oy. I had a really great time out at the Rave the other night. It was pretty fun. I don't go out dancing too often, you know? I have white boy dancing skills, but it was some good exercise, you know? It really complemented the calisthenic routine. Oh, with the dog ears? Yeah. Have you seen your old roomies lately? I see them all the time. What was the coolest fursuit you saw at the Rave? I wasn't really looking at the fursuits. There were a lot of very cool, stylish people, for sure. Lamau, I saw you hang out with Aspen and Terry in Cap Hill. Was that a horse here? Surreal fan all three. We weren't in Cap Hill. We were in Westlake. No, those were dog ears. Someone posted about you? Oh yeah, people are super mad at me right now because unwisely, the people that I hung out with at the rave posted photos of me with them. So then that spawned discourse about how I'm literally Hitler, and now everyone's posting about it. Also, before I slept, I tweeted, lesbians, but they're also into men. Somebody should be working on this, or something like that. And then a bunch of people accused me of advocating for corrective rape. So it's definitely like a sort of a hysterical moment. You know, that was bait. The bait was bisexual women. That was the bait. You think that refers to corrective rape? That's insane. But you can't structure everything that you say around the biases and perceptions of people who already dislike you. Is every bar in Seattle a gay bar? Sadly, no. I'm a lesbian who's into men sometimes. I think they have a word for that. I could be wrong. Forgot how many people hate you, Lamau. I got to start posting on Maine again, you know? I keep saying that. I want to. It feels so intimidating. I tried to a little while ago. It feels so, you get used to just posting whatever on an alt. You know, at what point do you step outside that bubble? The post about you was about something else. Yeah, that's Devin, host of Kill James Bond. I don't remember what the comment was though. Every time my algo sees fit to remind me of this guy, I fondly remember that I sniped his ass. It's a little soy, but I'll take it. You know, a lot of these people, they don't like me. If you never did another thing in life, this would be enough to retire on. Really? That's a pretty low bar. What does snipe mean? Devin is boasting that they insulted me in an episode of a podcast that I watched. I'm just saying it's a low bar. Am I correct in assuming you don't really post on Maine because your replies are immediately inundated with bullshit? No, I stopped posting on Maine. I made the alt account before the Ethan Klein bullshit. I stopped posting on Maine because I thought of it as like the Maine is the job account where I need to be on point politically with the messaging. And then the alt was where I could just post whatever. And then obviously the alt was more fun. You followed them once and they blocked you and bragged about it. That's what I remember. That's what I remember. That was the soy thing that I remember. But you always just posted the same on both? Right! So it's total bullshit. I was just posting whatever from the main account. For a retweet, furry porn on Maine now. I'll work on it. What was the coolest look at the rave? I was too close to the front. I didn't really see all the costumes or whatever. All the bits. There was a person up close to the front who was in like I don't know, like big frilly white sleeves, something like that. I don't know. I wasn't really looking around that much. Do you ever think about clearing your name so you can be mainstream? What on earth do you what do you think that entails exactly? Clear his name? What is this a detective novel? Everyone you love Israel. They would accept me uncritically, I'm sure, 100%. Nancy Drew is public domain now? Really? Yeah, I didn't really agree with that criticism much, Alexander Knight, but I cannot overstate how disappointed I was in her video on the birth rates, you know? It was just really, really lazy. Like, I'll argue this shit? What shit? See, Vaush, I actually disagree with you on birth rates. Well, that's fine. I don't need to argue with everyone in chat about it. That's the privilege of the platform, right? Philosophy Tube has been terrible ever since she lied about Nietzsche and then blamed the audience for noticing the What was the lie? Or what was the misinformation on Nietzsche? I'm not familiar with this bit. Wait, did she make the claim that Nietzsche was pro-Nazism? No, that doesn't sound right. That's like she gave a very amateur overview of Nietzsche that relied on old disproven myths. Okay. I don't think she would say that because that's like a pretty. That sounds wrong. Yeah, that'd be a pretty bad mistake to make. It's okay, Lexi Glorp. We can agree to disagree. Except for the many, many, many times this comes up again where I continue to aggressively push my point over and over again. At which point, like, maybe it won't be okay to disagree. We'll have to work that out in the drafts. Nietzsche said the only people who understood him are the Jews. I'm always saying this. Me for real. For real, for real. Me watching the Adam Friedland show. Their people are the only ones who can understand me. They were chosen to get my jokes. Nietzsche said being gay and doing crimes was cool. You cannot like Nietzsche and also be a Nazi. The ideologies could not possibly be more diametrically opposed. The idea of calling yourself like a Nietzschean or whatever, like you're a supporter, you're a believer, and then believing in the supremacy of a racial group, insane. Like, just I'm an Ubermensch. I believe in self-actualization beyond all else. Also, I believe in fervently dedicating myself to a race state, and I believe that my worth is determined from my adherence to a group, not from my own individual accomplishments. Like, could not possibly be. Yeah, his sister was a Nazi and she edited his text, blah, blah, blah. They're always lying, but you can't actually read Nietzsche and derive from that a Nazi conclusion. He didn't say anything. Well, he said lots of stuff that came across as broadly supremacist, but it was supremacy that explicitly rejected that groupthink mentality that is critical to Nazism or any kind of like ideology of racial supremacy. He was dark woke. Anyone else in on that? Can we agree? Nietzsche, dark woke? I think that's fine. Dark retarded, yeah. He wasn't incel, for sure. Wasn't he super individualist? I assumed you wouldn't like him. Well, I don't agree with his philosophy, but I just don't think it's Nazism. It's totally juxtaposed, you know? I don't agree with him. There are some things that he said that I think are agreeable. I do think that people should strive to be self-actualized, and I think that there is a kind of innate good in having the strength of character to identify what you are and what you want and to pursue it doggedly. You know, I just think that drive has to be contextualized in a pro-social environment. You know, I think that you have to like that basic idea is good. I just think it has to be channeled through a set of incentives that make it so people feel it benefits them to help others, right? I think that works pretty well. But I'm speaking very generally. Obviously, Nietzsche did not just say you should try really hard to do the things you want to do. Yeah, he was an extremist. He was very committed to that way of thinking. Can anyone truly self-actualize without socialization? Holistically, probably not. In some like specific ways, maybe. His theory of ressentiment was his best theory. I don't know enough about Nietzsche to rank the different things that he thought. However, it was pretty good. Honestly, most of what I know about Nietzsche I got from that goddamn ContraPoints video. So I'm hardly an expert. I thought it was a good video though, so hopefully that's like an okay baseline of information. You're not getting Glorp back. Contra asserting herself as the better online trans woman. Don't do that. Contra's in a bit of a hole right now, though, after the Palestine thing. Wasn't she supposed to release a video by the end of the year? I heard somebody say that. Are you pro or anti-individualism as a philosophy? I don't like saying individualism or collectivism in broad terms for the same reason that I don't think you should invoke postmodernism in broad terms. You're referring to so many different ideas, like a word that refers to so many different ways of viewing the world. What am I even saying, you know? I don't like individualism in the sense of orienting society in such a way that everyone feels like they're on their own and everyone's responsibility is to navigate a bunch of obstacles and systems to achieve their own best outcome. You know, I think that we are fundamentally cooperative rather than competitive. I think that basically everything we've built as a species has been the product of cooperation. Just say community versus loneliness. Yeah, but everyone doesn't like community. Or sorry, everyone doesn't like loneliness and everyone likes community. Everyone will say that. But what people fail to recognize often is that like community is destroyed by hyper-individualization, right? The grind set mentality, the idea that everyone has to be working all the time to maximize their outcomes. There are bunches of little ways we advocate for people to optimize their life and their time that come at the expense of both developing their character fully and also like forming a community, you know? Like everyone in the abstract agrees that people should make friends, right? But a lot of people will advocate for things that make them hypervigilant and paranoid when it comes to, say, talking to strangers or befriending your neighbor, right? It's about the specific implementation. Likewise, what does anyone mean when they say collectivism, right? It's such a a buzzword. Just like this chat's made up? Yeah, basically. It's an off-malign term to use, Lit. Oh, I didn't post it earlier, by the way. But I figure for the sake of posterity, and if people on Twitter are going to be roasting and lambasting me for it anyway. Look, my beautiful partner's beautiful face is obscured for the purposes of anonymity. But check me out with my dang dog ears. At the club. Gay? That is true. That is true. After seeing what YouTube pays for ad revenue, I just have to ask, are you doing okay mentally? This seems like a stressful job. The sex parties are nice, though. No, I'm afraid I'm a one-partner man right now. No sex parties for me. Look, I'm not going to complain about, God, YouTube ad revenue. I suspect it might be a little bit nicer to me than it is to you. However, if you guys want to donate more, you are legally allowed to. I want to point that out. Are the sex parties a YouTube thing or a Seattle thing? I think that Kowalski means they're a YouTube thing. You guys have to understand, okay? I don't talk to any YouTubers behind the scenes. Well, that's not entirely true. Like Adam Something, for example, I've talked to Not Just Bikes, little conversations. But I'm not like, I'm not in contact with, the broader space at all. You're not a social butterfly? Well, part of it is that. But also, like, look what just fucking happened. I went to a rave. I met two people for the first time. They took pictures with me and uploaded them, and they both had to take the pictures down because they were getting so much hate for being with me, I don't want to subject other people to that. The sex parties are a lefty farmer thing? Oh. That made me feel bad too. Yeah, it's not really about me. It's more about them, I feel bad for them. Although it's a great resource for people to have. Warning to chat that too many rice and bean purchases at Costco can lead to chest fatigue and costochondritis. Ha! Costochondritis. Nice meme. I cannot believe that I fixed that shit with a fucking dumbbell pullover. I wonder if that would work for other people. I wonder, like, how many people have Costo, but they just need a good pop. A good pop? A good pop. A good dumbbell pullover. Wow. The email guy that suggested it is a genius. Seriously, they like fucking saved my life. I wasn't even wearing my lace-up boots because bending down to tie up my laces hurt my chest. Like, that's the level of physical debilitation that I was experiencing. And now I can put my boots on whenever I want. I thought you meant you'd been doing it for a while and it slowly helped. No, I mean, my chest for years was hurting with the Costo, and then I did a dumbbell pullover. As soon as I held the weight above me, I knew I couldn't hold it there for long, like not because of the muscles, but because of the Costo pain. And then there was a big audible pop, like audible, like it not just to my ears, it reverberated around the room. I heard that, and my chest hurt like crazy after that, and I was like, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up either with no Costo or with a rib bone in my heart. And the next morning I woke up and I felt great. And since then, and it's been like 4 months since then, my Costo has been barely an issue. It's not entirely gone, but it went from persistent for years to like, I don't think about it anymore. That's insane. Yeah, it's so insane that I worry about, like, it's going to enable bad habits in me, right? In the future, I'm going to have like a strained back or a pulled shoulder, and I'm going to think, remember that time I fixed a years-long debilitation just by holding a weight that was too heavy for me at a bad angle? I should just, let me do a little twist. Gonna accidentally KMS. Yeah, this is how chiropractors get their paychecks. They convince you all of your problems can be solved by a guy like punching you in the right way, basically. Why do people hate you? You seem like a normal wife guy / dad. Well, a wide variety of reasons. I'm a political live streamer, but also I've gotten in my fair share of drama for which I have a massive context video. I just don't go over all those bits individually because it seems like the whole point of a video like that is that you can point someone to it and go like, hey, that's why people are mad at me, Much more convenient than having to get into it on stream. Who was it who got earlier in the stream? Because of that? Was it TechWiz09? Something like that? No, it's okay. That's fine. That's fine. Just let me rely on my memory. I need nothing else. What's the video called? The context video. I've not seen the context video. I don't want to dislike you, so I haven't watched it. Okay. Wow, way to have faith. Jesus Christ. Yes, I thought it was fine. I don't know. I don't make a habit of going back and rewatching it, you know. I don't really revel in the drama very much. The number of times politicians have sent me the context video of Vaush asking me for my thoughts, lol. Jesus, that's fucking grim. You like debating points in the video with Katie Wilson. It's a wild world out there. Wild world. I'm gonna have faith. You seem really nice. I'd like to believe I do. I don't think that a lot of the hysterical negativity towards me survives much direct scrutiny, okay? I've been online for long enough to know that a lot of people who genuinely are shitty but are kind of like affable on the surface, I don't think they keep that up very well or for very long. I think we've got a good atmosphere here, but you know, it's no one can judge but you, right? No one can judge but you. The club is lit. The club was lit. It was cool. There were a ton of people there who I knew, though I only talked to a few. Spite was go-go dancing up at the front of the club. Spite, you know, the pretty lady with the hat. Enough of you know. You know what I'm talking about, Twitter lady. Didn't she say she ended the night with so much cash in her bikini? Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, she was, you know, dancing in a bikini at the front of a club. That is a good way to get dollar bills shoved in your, you know, your strap. Assuming you look great, which she did. So, you know. Quality of the dancing, sort of an established factor here. Who are you talking about? Spite. It's okay. It's all right.